Just a couple more weeks away before we get racing here at Phoenix Raceway for the NASCAR weekend, starting with the General Tire 150 and then up the rankings we go until Sunday's race coming up in March. Glad to have you here on the Inside Lane. I'm Devin Henry, and joining us is arguably the most famous native out of Glendale, Arizona. He's a back-to-back International Kart Federation champion, the 2004 Star Mazda Series champion, and the 2021 Daytona 500 champion. Driver of the Front Row Motorsports, loves travel stops, number 34 Ford Mustang. From Glendale, Arizona, it's Michael McDowell. Michael,
Hey, that
the
was
champion.
quite the introduction right there. That was awesome, Devin.
I just gotta get ready because it better be like that when you're here in Phoenix. I'm so excited for that ovation when you get to come over here to Phoenix. But my first question for you, how's the sleep schedule been?
You know, it hasn't been bad. The first few days were tough, but you know, it's been good. I mean, I feel like, you know, just taking it all in and enjoying it, but you know, I also still have a job to do, right? So, you know, the Daytona road course was coming right up, and then obviously we got more races in front of us. So you don't want to lose sight of it, right? Because every week counts and every week matters. So, you know, still trying to make sure that, you know, I'm studying hard and working out and staying as prepared as I can and not getting wore out or wore down too much. But yeah, it's definitely been, you know, a fun few weeks and it's an experience. I mean, to take it all in is amazing.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm just excited to have the Daytona 500 Championship Trophy in the same screen in the virtual world as me. But tell me the plans. What's the plans coming up for that trophy there? Do you have an idea of where it's going yet?
No, you know, I don't. I'm horrible at planning things. I need to get better at it, and especially now that my schedule is really tight. But I'm planning on, you know, taking the family from Vegas to, you know, to Phoenix, and just, you know, I'll bring the trophy and just, you know, I just want to be able to celebrate with my family that wasn't there. You know, my brother and my dad and my cousin and just my grandmother and you know, my wife's family's all out there too, and so, you know, I want to be able to have that moment with them. And so I want to bring it home to Glendale as well and be able to show it off. So I'll be carrying this heavy hardware with me, but I don't really have a schedule or a plan, but I'm going to enjoy that week at home and get ready for the big race.
And you mentioned not being able to have, I'm sure most of the family that you'd like to have at Daytona every year that we go there because of continued COVID restrictions. So when you were able to get back home to North Carolina, can you just take me through what was that embrace finally like when you were able to see your family? And I mean, this is a huge feat. So what was that moment like for you once you actually got to see all your loved ones with you to celebrate that moment?
Yeah, it was special. You know, I knew my wife was coming to pick me up, but I had no idea that she had planned, you know, for a lot of people to be there to welcome me home. So that was really special. But, you know, more than anything, it was just seeing my wife. I mean, my kids, they get it and it's neat. And, you know, it was great to see them. But my wife and I, we've been together since we were 15 and she's been through all the highs and lows with me and this whole journey we've done together. And she knows what it's take to get to this point. And she's been with me and supported me and done so much to allow me to do this. So it's really special for her and I just because of, you know, our relationship. And like I said, it's not like she doesn't understand what's gone on and what's taken place to get here. So it was very special to just take that moment in and then my kids obviously super excited and, you know, it's something that they'll remember forever. And, but just a special moment, lots of friends and family and yeah, thankful, man. I really am thankful. I mean, we've talked about it before, even before I won, like, I think it's awesome that I'm one of 40 guys that gets to compete, you know, in NASCAR at the highest level. And I've never taken that for granted. And even when it was rough, I still felt like, man, what an honor and a privilege to be one of 40. And I'm going to fight hard because there's guys that would die to be in this position. And I'm not going to just, you know, squander it away. So it makes it very rewarding when you get to, you know, have these moments and celebrate it.
And being one of the 40, you're now one of just the only two to be locked into the NASCAR playoffs. Granted, that's a long way away, but coming to Phoenix here in just a couple of weeks, Are you guys able to do anything from that win, knowing that you're going to have a chance to make it into the round of 12, to maybe focus more on your car, throw a little bit more money at it to try to run with those big, higher budget teams so that you can try to get some playoff points? Is there anything in the plans, hopefully, for you guys to be able to go out and score some more playoff points or potentially another win? There's plenty of road courses on the way.
There are opportunities for us to score more points and to get in a better position when the playoffs start with stage wins and trying to get in position for wins. I mean, we know how tough it is because it's taken us this long, right? But we're also in a good spot with, like you said, new schedule, a lot of road courses. So it's not out of question that we can put ourselves in a good position. We know it's uphill, but at the same time, we have all year to plan for it. And yeah, we'll be able to, put some more money into it, some better cars, and be able to, kick the playoffs right and have, the best chance that we can at advancing to the next round. And we know that's lofty. We get it, but we're gonna fight hard. That's what's got us to this point, just fighting hard, and we'll see what happens.
And forever in history, you will be known as the first ever Arizona-born driver to not only win in any of 3 NASCAR's Premier Series, you were the first one to do that in the Xfinity Series, but then also the first ever driver from Arizona to win the Daytona 500. I know Alex Bowman's going to want to try to catch you, but right now you are the most storied NASCAR driver out of Arizona, and you used to just ride your bike down to PKRA and go karting, then you go international. So for you, what does it mean to be, I don't mean to talk you up too crazy, but being the most storied NASCAR driver from Arizona, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, that's amazing because, I would have never thought that just based on how the journey was going, right? And like you said, Bowman, he's going to have a lot of success. He's super talented and he's with a great organization. And so, but to beat him to the punch, that's awesome. And, but he's a great guy and he'll have, like I said, a lot of success in the sport. But it means a lot, like I said, it's where I'm from and it's where it all started and it's where our family is and it's where my wife and I, met. And so, that's our roots. And so it's cool to, to rep Arizona and to be able to bring home the hardware for them.
Chatting with Michael McDowell here on the Inside Lane. And before I let you go, because I know you got plenty to do, I want to do a quick time with you. Some rapid fire questions, looking for some rapid fire answers in return. You ready to take a quick time, Michael?
Let's do it.
Alrighty, first and foremost, your favorite part of driving home in the motorhome as opposed to flying like you did this past weekend?
Windshield time. You get to think a lot.
Alrighty, and how about this one? This is a factual question. You are a Daytona 500 champion, but what other Phoenix Kart Racing Association graduate also won the Indy 500?
Buddy Rice.
Buddy Rice back in 2004. PKRA has an Indy 500 champion and a Daytona 500 champion. Have you ever gotten to meet Buddy Rice, really? I don't know if you guys really raced in the same class at PKRA, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Buddy was the guy that I looked up to, when I was racing go-karts. He was always a class ahead or age ahead. And we've raced a handful of times, but, Buddy and his family, we grew up with him. We saw him every weekend. And when he went, big time racing, that was somebody that we're like, oh man, this is so cool. It's so neat that we knew him. And so just like some people are experiencing now with my journey, I experienced it with buddies.
And last one for you. So much happened with you this past, make it like a week and a half now. But for you, what moment, whether that was at Daytona, what happened later on, seeing him with your family, what moment from this celebration is going to stick with you the most?
It's hard to, single one thing out, but I would just say, I would say just that moment with my wife, just knowing how much we've been through as a couple and a family to get to this point.
Well, Michael, I appreciate the time. I know you still have plenty to go on because you are one of the most famous drivers in NASCAR right now, essentially. So thank you for your time, Michael. We look forward to seeing you here in Phoenix for NASCAR weekend coming up.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
This is the Inside Lane on Sports 360 AZ. Be sure to keep it to Sports 360 AZ as we get ready for NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway.